are
It's
live.
gonna be crazy this year. Okay, I'd like to call this finance and legislation meeting to order. Mr. Bayes?
I'm here.
Mr. Ballack?
Here.
Mr. Bigley is here. We got 3 pieces. We'll get through these first. First one, from the mayor and the SSD. A resolution authorizing the auditor of Mahoning County to remove grass liens placed on real estate located in the city of Struthers pursuant to section 743.04 of the Ohio Revised Code and declaring an emergency. Motion to bring it out.
I'll make a motion to bring that.
Second.
I will second that.
Okay. All right, next is from the auditor. An ordinance appropriating the sum of $1,000 to Youngstown Class B Baseball Inc. for an outfield advertisement sign for the city of Struthers for the year 2023 and declaring an emergency.
Motion to bring that.
Second.
Second that.
We did get a new sign, right?
Yeah.
Okay, another one from the auditor. An ordinance appropriating the sum not to exceed $150 from the 2023 general fund budget appropriations 9,000 miscellaneous category contingent number 109,53024 for the VFW Memorial contribution and declaring an emergency. Motion to bring it out.
Make a motion to bring that.
Second.
I will second that.
Okay, it for legislation. Who got what for finance and legislation? Throw it around the horn here.
Ronnie, you ain't got nothing?
Come on, you got something good over
You got
there.
something?
Yeah.
Come on, open it up.
Cat.
Can I
Yeah.
bring something up? I might be working on a resolution to pose to you guys, to see if you would be in favor of signing it in support of, Methodist Church here on the corner. They might be closing. There might be nothing we can do, but I was asked to bring it to council to see if you guys would be willing, just to say, just in support, so nothing.
Do you know the reason that they're closing? Is it funding? Is
I
it?
don't know if it's funding or consolidation or what they're doing. I think it's, I don't know that they know all the details. It may be already a done deal. It might not
Okay.
be something that we can even interfere in, but I think we're being asked to send just like a resolution in support of the church.
I don't think there's anything we're gonna be able to do, but it is a good faith gesture
Yeah.
for council maybe to move forward and just say, we would hope that not for you to leave our community.
Yeah, that's,
We value
it'll
you
be
in the-
very general.
We value you in the
Yeah.
community
Yes.
and
So what happens to that property?
They own it, so that's what we don't know, cause they're in the beginning stages. I know they're talking about it, but I don't know if
it would
they
either be
sell,
kept or sold. That's private.
keep it,
I
or,
mean,
we
private
really
I'm
don't
just saying,
know.
you're still gonna have to maintain it.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Which one is the Methodist Church? The one on
Right
the,
here.
Right on the corner.
Right here on the
Across from
corner.
the, like,
from the library?
library.
The other
Yep.
thing you have to be
Oh.
considered is that right now it's a Methodist church. I don't know what the zoning is, but I'm assuming it's probably residential. In which case, if the business or something tries to move in there,
Presbyterian.
we may have to put a squash on that.
It's probably, honestly, for a church, it's probably mixed use, I would assume, when you.
Well, you're allowed to have a church in a residential area. But
Or a
so-
club.
But directly behind that, isn't there an Ohio Edison building
There
as
is.
well?
Yep.
So there is another commercial property, budding.
I don't know what it is, like I said, but that may be an issue if they go to try to sell it or something.
John, is that what churches generally are? Is mixed use, or is it special interests or something like that?
Well, they have a school there,
I
right?
think it's
The
like
Bear
yours,
House.
like you said, it's the social
You don't know.
challenge.
I don't know.
They have a hall there, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause, well, we were there for a while,
Yeah,
we
Bear House
actually
is not
went to
Presbyterian.
church there for a while. But, they
Oh,
were thinking about
Methodist, that
combining it
little
with
church
Pullman
right
Bend.
here. Oh,
Yeah,
that's-
right on the corner.
I don't know if I know they have a meeting coming up, I think it's end of next week, or beginning, I'm sorry, it's on the 17th. It's coming up, but just to set.
I would be fine with it, just to let them know that, hey, we value you in the community. I mean,
It looks like there's like classrooms in that, isn't
Right.
it?
Oh, they have a lot, it used to be a school.
Oh,
Used to be a
And
head
they
start.
also, they own the house on the
It is
other
the
side
Caucus
too.
store.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Head Start.
Yeah.
Does anybody oppose that?
No.
It'll be a general,
Yeah,
like we support you kind of thing.
all good.
So the church part is actually just a little portion of it, really.
Yeah, because the house next door, I think, goes with the
Yeah, it
church
goes-
too.
Oh, does it?
I think the
Correct.
The
pastor
house
lives
would go
there.
with it.
Yeah, because the pastor lives in that. And then I think the
It's
parking
all
lot
together. On the other side.
on the other side goes with that as well.
Yes. Yeah.
I always see a fire chief's Carter?
That's Pastor Doug, he's the
Oh,
fire
that's
chief.
Doug, okay.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
We have 3 fire chiefs,
Well, he's in
Cars and
Liberty
Struthers.
now.
Oh, he's in
Lawrence,
Liberty now.
Pastor Doug, and Campbell.
Pastor Doug's is where,
Yeah.
Lake Milton?
No, I think he's in Liberty now.
He's in Liberty now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
If you got any questions, I'll be more happy to answer them. I don't know if, depending on where the questions go, it should be probably an executive session. We can do it next week, somebody can call an executive session, I mean, that's up to you guys.
Mhm.
Is that what we're doing?
What are we doing?
I don't know what questions you might have.
About?
Yeah, I think we wanna go in an executive session with that,
Okay.
because of the,
I would say it's
Majority of it.
probably best for any specifics.
yes.
I have one general question, and it isn't anything pertaining to that as much. It's more, in a civil lawsuit, is the city still hold the bond for the individual working for it?
Is the city still holding the bond? Meaning, do they have to cover them?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that was my only,
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure of that.
Yes.
Okay. Only question.
Yeah, when the insurance company gets involved, they will provide counsel for all parties involved.
Okay. And that's criminal or civil ramifications?
I don't necessarily know if that applies, that's not gonna apply to necessarily criminal.
Okay.
Like if the grand jury would have found that Tommy did something wrong and he would have been indicted on something, that'd have been him.
Oh, okay, okay. But in the civil matter,
Yes.
we're covered?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
We have one more thing we kind of just wanted to bring to everybody's attention. As you all know, we've received the grant for the bridge, the 95% grant, our 95% grant for the Wetmore Bridge. We're going through everything, we got the engineer cost back, and it's, I think, $189,000.
Yep.
So we're probably gonna be using the rest of our COVID money to do that. We cannot not get it done, because once it gets to a point, I don't think we'll ever see another grant. This is a $1 million bridge. We will never, ever
We
have
gotta
that.
take advantage of
So we
something.
have to, we've reached out to try to look for loans, we talked to OPWC, we looked in different avenues first to see how to go about getting that money for the engineering costs.
Yep, I
We
agree.
talked with Chris, we have no
I think
other options.
Money
So
well spent.
We're able to use that COVID?
we are,
Yeah.
but it is a qualified expense.
Money well
And
spent.
that's pretty
Oh,
much.
absolutely.
If they were covering 50%, I would say, somebody's gonna always be covered 50,
But the
but
problem
they're covering
is-
95.
No matter
We're
what.
still
this-
gonna have that
Right,
cost down.
even if you
Yeah.
push this off and push that, the engineering costs will always fall on the city.
But not only that, Bob, take into consideration, if we wait 5 years to be able to do this
They'll
again,
go
the
up.
costs are gonna go up.
Sure.
So I mean, all costs are going up. Engineering fees are gonna go up the same way. So I vote that we spend the money, we do it now, and it'll last us another 100 years, or how, you know.
Does Mill Creek have any involvement in this at all?
No, they're involved in the planning, and when we met down there, so we had a couple representatives from Mill Creek, from Yellow Creek, but no.
They're more environmental concerns and everything else, they're dealing with the creek itself, not the bridge or the roadway.
As far as not backing up flow or anything like that.
Well, actually, they're going to make the bridge
Why?
wider. They say longer, but it's actually, so the creek will go through there during high flows a little bit easier.
Okay.
Or that's what was discussed when we were down there.
Yeah.
We'll see when the plans actually come through.
No, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Anybody, any reservations about that? Perfect. Anything else for this committee?
The engineer told me that they were going to start surveying next week, whether we agree to it or not. So, because they wanted to get ahead of it. So it said even if we would turn it down, at some point, they were gonna still try to start the survey so that they're ahead of the schedule. So you'll probably see people down there next week.
Isn't there like a bridge committee for the state that we're part of too? Where they check them every so
That's-
often?
That's for
Inspections.
inspections.
Okay.
But that one was never on it. That was never on it, and then I think the engineer for Youngstown decided to
Do the
do
inspection
it
for us.
For us,
Right.
because that was never listed
Right,
as a county
we have to
bridge.
pay for that one separately. by
Right, that's
ourselves.
our whole deal. We have to maintain it, take care of it.
So the fact that they're gonna pay 95% of it is
Right,
great.
so you can't pass that.
Well,
Because the county has no responsibility for that bridge at all. Now, will they after they build it?
No,
No, it'll
No,
still
it's
be
still
ours.
That's our-
Still ours.
our-
Yeah, so we have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And if anybody, when we were down there, we had a meeting, there was probably 15 of us, and within 10 minutes, we had the news showing up. They thought we were checking the water because of East Palestine, which has nothing to do with it. So when they're down there again and they're surveying, there's people out there, you can assure anybody that's calling, it has to do with the bridge.
There will be
Doesn't
work
have to do with
starting this summer, so they're gonna do core samples and
Sure.
everything like that, as part of this study.
That
We'll go
was
out to
nice.
bid in the beginning of next spring, so it won't be completed until next spring.
Like, cause last time we went down there, look, you could almost see some of the steel beams underneath.
If you go up underneath there, you
yeah.
see the rebar and everything
Right,
else,
yeah.
and it
So
is starting to
it's starting
deteriorate pretty bad.
yeah. So I guess it's good timing then.
We can pull up there too.
Huh?
We can pull up there.
We have plans for that. The bird bath,
That'd be awesome.
there's
Are we allowed to do
We're
that?
not gonna make it very bad.
we're making
Okay.
friends with Yellow Creek and Mill Creek very well.
We
And
are?
Chris, you should see the plans this one has for that area. I'm not taking credit for what her
That would be a nice
idea
little
is,
park
but you
there.
should see the things she has in mind for that place.
Just the idea of seeing it there, you know what I mean? Not-
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean, just, that'd be awesome.
I could still smell the chlorine.
Do we have
Well, I don't
any-
think we'll ever have a pool. The liability is,
Most places don't, and most places that have had them have gotten rid of them due to liability.
Do we have any more grants coming up for playground equipment?
for
This
splash
year?
pad. We just got word back from one of the ones, I think we applied to 4. One of them for ODNR, we just got a response back, we did not get that one. So we still have 3 out there that we're waiting responses.
Since we've met with them, what was it, 4 years ago on the splash pad,
Mhm.
Mr. Klein, prices have went way up.
Well, no, because we're at 140. The last quote we got was 140,000 we have it planned out at Moffy. But it's literally, we've talked to Warren, we've talked to
Yeah, we're not
Walgreens,
putting in any obstructions, yeah.
No structures,
Yeah.
literally just the water, a pad. So taking all those things out of, those things, like just one
Yeah,
little
they're 10 grand.
tree is 10 grand.
Yeah, they're 10 grand.
Taking all that stuff and making it plain, making it generic, you still get the water.
Plus, it's gonna be
add
less
onto it.
maintenance in
Yep.
the future doing it that way.
Yep.
And where was-
And you could build them, last time when we talked to the representative, you could build them in a manner that down the road, you could add those
Add,
things.
yes, yes.
I mean, it's, so, why, let's get it built and,
Aren't there grants for just like playground equipment though?
Yes, there are.
Okay.
We
That
haven't
doesn't,
went-
that
we
doesn't
haven't
go
went
towards
on-
like a splash pad or so, I mean like swing
Regular,
set, yeah.
yes, we haven't applied for anything right now because we're trying for the splash pad. Because right now, we can add equipment, we wanna, even in the comprehensive plan, we wanna add things to Nebo and to Mickler and to those other parks.
Yeah.
So that's coming, but we're trying to focus on getting the money for the splash pad and go from there.
well,
Because our equipment is pretty up to date at Monty, but
absolutely,
we can always add,
Yeah, but
absolutely.
we're gonna run out of room in Monty eventually.
yes.
You know, we can't keep putting.
This
Almost
will
out of
probably
room
be
now.
the last thing that we add
Yeah.
there, but that's why we have the other parks we can develop.
Where was the idea we're gonna put a bat in the left field, the pad?
Behind the playground,
Yeah. Mike Patrick's back
it's a
here.
30 by,
Oh,
50
okay.
by 30, so it's
So
not
they
a
I know we were talking
large.
about maybe
Mike's
putting them in
driveway
left
if they
field.
wanna go
yeah.
there.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah, that's another thing, cause parking is kinda limited there.
yes.
I mean, for all that
We do have
stuff
that
goes on.
access going out to 616 where the drainage sits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
That could always be, even if it were,
It would kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
correct,
Right.
So it would,
be another
Fix that.
inlet, it would be parking for that, and, yeah.
and we need it right now where we have the park supervision, where we have the cameras, where we have
I
the
agree.
full-time staff, where we have, eventually, down the road, could it be something we put at other locations?
I think the splash pad
We would have to
is
be
best
talked
served
about.
at Morphe, absolutely, especially on a liability standpoint.
Yeah.
Like you said, that we have a full-time caretaker,
Yeah.
we have
Bathrooms.
cameras, we have bathrooms, we have all those things. And it would be far too much of a undertaking somewhere else when we could easily give the community one where all those things already exist.
Yeah. And then we have and I don't know if they're gonna come and speak to the council, but they're gonna announce on cleanup day, but we're looking at a portion of, Nebo Park along the tree line for a future dog park. So the committee's handling it, they're gonna do the fundraising, they're gonna do everything, we met with them. And we can obviously provide like the doggy food things and.
Was it Fifth Street Park initially supposed to be like for dogs, the walkie dogs, they had the the
because of
poles
the,
and the bags
And
and,
when this committee, I think they kinda rolled that out a little bit, because,
even the stormwater, because it floods so much there, and that permeating into,
Yeah, they're pretty cool for sled riding.
That's true,
yeah.
that's true.
But that was actually ranked one of the lower ones.
when they were surveying their sites.
Plus, it's a good sled riding spot.
Yeah.
Not now, there's a big tree in the middle of it.
well, maybe we should make a.
There's no
sled
snow
riding
either.
area.
Yeah, we should, absolutely.
Remember I had the idea of just putting pole at the
Right.
top, pole at the bottom, so you can get up and down?
Still a
I
good
mean-
Maybe we
idea.
should clear out a wide area too, so you can sled.
Yeah, yeah,
Put a nice hill. Maybe
I
we can
agree.
enhance it a little bit.
I agree, my
Now's
kids
the time
love
to
to
do
sled
it
ride.
before
Mm-hmm.
out of season. Get
That's
everything
true.
in room.
Okay, anybody else for this committee? Motion to adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
second,
I'll second that.
Wow.
meeting adjourned.